Welcome back to another Minetest mod review. Today we are looking at the personal logs mod, which adds basically a personal logbook that you can use to log whatever you want. Whether you want to use it for, points of interest, places that you want to, go back and revisit, or if you want to use it to keep track of, players that were griefing or something. Or, any other reason you want. Passwords, I guess. I do not recommend storing passwords in this because I do believe that the text of all of the logs is accessible to the server administrator, or really anybody that has access to the files on the server. But that's besides the point. We're assuming this is not being used for any mission critical data or high sensitivity data. Anyway, with the disclaimers out of the way, let's move on to how we interact with and how we use, which I guess are kind of both the same thing. So interact's probably not the right word. How we, I don't know what the right word would be. There's a couple different ways that we can, how to open the logbook. There are settings for this. You can enable an inventory tab. So I am just using the default inventory for my test game here. And so we get a tab here in the inventory that opens up the logbook. We can hit the little X button to close it. Or of course, we can use the escape key to close it as well. And this gives us everything here. There's also support for unified inventory, mine clone, and I think one or two other inventory things. Smart inventory, I think, was supported as well. And then there's also an option that you can make a craft item. So what do we want to search here? Personal. It's just 2 books. 2 books will craft you one of these, and then you can access the personal log that way. And just to show that this is tied to the player and not to the logbook, bada boom, bada boom, we can access it from any method we want. We get the same content in it. So if you were to accidentally, type pulverize and destroy your item, I don't know how that would ever happen accidentally, but if it were, no worries, because it's still here. Or say maybe you're mining and you're next to some lava, which there's not lava down here, but this is going to be my example, and you accidentally hit the Q key instead of the W key and you drop your logbook into the lava, no worries, because all of that data is still available right here, or by crafting a new logbook. It's great. So instead of having an actual book where you can lose it, or misplace it in, one of 1,500,000 chests that you have, most of which are filled with dirt, you don't need to worry about that stuff anymore, because it's always there for you. So with that little tidbit out of the way, let's get to the actual usage. So we just open it using whatever method we want, and we will start at the top, work our way down. So we have 3 different categories. We have locations. This is tied to real world coordinates. Real world? I guess fake world coordinates, whatever. It's tied to the coordinates of the game world. Real world would be like your actual location, which would be pretty creepy. Event, which is tied to the date. And then general, which is not tied to anything. You can put in your own title and your own body. So let's go back to the location, and let's go ahead and put a new location bit in. So we're gonna run over here till I find something that's worth doing a location for. Here, we got a cave up here. Let's just pretend this is an epic cave, which maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't explored it. And we're going to go ahead and do location. We are going to hit new, and we are going to do mouth of epic cave. Must come back and explore when I have better armor and tools. And then we just click the save button, and you'll see here we now have the coordinates, which we can, of course, using F5, see in the upper left hand corner. While we're here, might as well mention this. You can also rearrange them using the move up and move down buttons. And if you decide that you don't really need this one saved anymore, you can always delete it by hitting the delete button. So, that's helpful too. Events, you know, the same thing. We just hit the new button. It gives us the date, and we put down, this is a beautiful day. I love my world and my Minetest house. Ooh. Is that how you do ooh, or is it the other way? Or do you even pronounce, I don't know, whatever. Just offended every single anime person ever. Oops, sorry. Anyway, yeah. And then we save that. Make sure you hit the save button, because if you don't, we'll just demonstrate on a third one real quick. Like, what happens if we don't hit save? Wow. I don't know what I was typing there. Okay, so yeah, we're not gonna hit save, and we'll just close this. And then we'll go wander, and then we'll open it, and we lost it. It's still, the entry's still there, but the text is gone. So make sure you save. And then you have the general, which, yeah, we'll just go ahead and create a new one. And we'll just do, let's see, for the video. And we'll put in some text like, this is just a sample of all the incredible things you can do with this system. It's not really a system, but whatever. Save, boom, done. All right, so see, that's pretty neat. And then, of course, we can rearrange these as well. So you can put the more important things to the top or to the bottom, you know, whatever floats your boat. There is more, though. The last two buttons we haven't covered, the export and import buttons. So these give you the ability to import data from a book, such as this, or export the data to an empty book. So let's start with the import feature. So we're going to import this to, we'll import it to general, but you could import it to any of them. And we just take the book and we throw it into the input slot here, click the back button, and I now have 2 of these tests because that's what was in the book. Yay. And we also still have the book. So this does give you the ability to make duplicate books, which I think you can actually already do in the craft grid, so there's really not much point in that, but you can share notes with other players then, or take notes from other players and put them into the logbook. We're going to go ahead and delete that because it's duplicated, and we are going to go ahead and export one of these out. So to export it out, yeah, we'll export this one out. Just make sure you're selected on the log you want to export, click the export button, put an empty book in the slot, and you see it automatically fills up. If you put one or try to put one in that already has something written to it, you can't. So you don't have to worry about accidentally overwriting important data in an existing book. And here we have the title, and then we have the contents. The title does get cut off. And as you can see, the title isn't even, in this specific case, isn't smart, I guess. It just does whatever the max length is allowed. However, I do believe if we do this will do the same thing, but if we do the general, because this actually has a title, I believe if we export this one, that we will get something that is, there we go, that is formatted correctly. So the title we had in our note becomes the title of the book, and then the content of the note becomes the content of the book. Pretty neato. And that's it, honestly. Yeah, so you can save notes, logs. If you have things in world, you know, locations you want to revisit, or maybe you have multiple bases and you want to remember which base has your stash of gold coins or doubloons. Is that how it's pronounced? Doubloon? I don't think that's how it's pronounced. Pirate coins. They're not actually even pirate coins, but they were just a common coin during the era of the classical pirates, seeing as how pirates do still exist and they do, you know, attack ships and steal stuff from them. I don't know if they bury the treasure anymore. Of course, I don't know if pirates actually ever did that back in the day either. That is completely off topic though, so let's not stray. Let's just wrap things up here. Links will all be on my website as always, which is linked down in the video description. Tune in next week for another mod review and visit back throughout the week for other videos, and check out my social medias if you're interested. That's all linked down in the video description as well. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.